These narratives lead back to the same place and to the same people and to the same money. I know what real journalism is. I know the standards and the principles that we're supposed to aspire to. So I know when they're not being when they're being disregarded on the right and on the left. And what I tell people all the time is that nobody owns me. Okay, nobody owns me. I cannot live one day on this earth without doing everything humanly possible to stop what is happening to so many children. It is absolutely unadulterated, pure evil. Their day is done. They are very powerful. They will do absolutely anything to anyone. And I know they're going to keep attacking me, and I don't care. I don't care.
Hello and welcome to Chinese Communist Party. Well, it's certainly feeling like that lately, as censorship just has this stranglehold on us where we're increasingly, it's more difficult to hold those in power accountable, which is a tenet of journalism. So I'm Christy Lee, and today my guest is a multiple award-winning journalist known for her work on 60 Minutes as a foreign correspondent, literally putting her life on the line for a story and to serve viewers. And now we're seeing even someone like that censored by supposed conservative media. So Lara Logan, I am just so honored to have you on. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And so if you have such a hard work ethic, I mean, anyone can see if they've seen everything that you've done. You just get this impression that you were fighting and competing like from the minute you started in journalism. And it's just that tenacity that I admire, and that bravery and integrity. And I imagine that it was that integrity that caused you to kind of increasingly step away from traditional journalism, or press the line, as I myself have done. I don't have a glowing list like you do, but have been in the journalism industry for 20 years myself. Mm-hmm. And it became unrecognizable. And to see now supposed conservative media like Newsmax shutting people like you down, and not only shutting you down, but mocking you. It's just so absurd and crazy. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it's just funny to me because I don't have a relationship with Newsmax to sever. All the headlines said, Newsmax severs ties with Lara Logan. I've been on Eric Bolling's show 3 times. That's a total of my relationship with Newsmax. So what that tells you is that the entire thing was fake, right? It was theater. It was meant for a different purpose. And I don't worry about it at all. In fact, it's kind of amusing to me at this point, and almost fun to watch them falling over themselves to try and shut me up, because it's not going to work. I mean, people know. They know when they hear the truth. They know intrinsically. You don't know every single time. You don't know every detail, but you know when you hear the truth. And, I will be honest with you that in all those years when I was working very hard at 60 Minutes and CBS, to do the best work that I could do, I had no idea what a bubble we really lived and worked and operated in. And we weren't aware of our own bias a lot of the time. There's no excuse for that today. And one thing that I would say to people, because I don't really care about the so-called being canceled part, it's a joke to me. It reveals more about Newsmax and the so-called conservative media than it does about anything else. And what it really shows us is that it's an illusion too, right? I mean, this line between Democrat and Republican is an illusion. And the line between conservative and liberal media, not in every respect. Of course, there are differences. Fox News is not MSNBC yet. But what people need to know, I think, what I've learned that I found very useful to understanding it, is that this is how they control both sides of the narrative.
But I do need to ask you, since they're really trying to slander you with and call you a QAnon, whatever, like, it's some bad word. Where do you stand with that? Are you Q? I mean, like, what's up with that?
I don't even know what, I've never followed QAnon. I'll just be honest with you. I mean, I was under siege with Benghazi and all kinds of other things when that was sort of on the ascendancy. And I just didn't need, it didn't I mean, I didn't even occur to me. It didn't even occur to me to pay attention to it, because it seemed like a bridge too far and another place for them to attack you. And I just think it's funny that they've run out of labels, right? I mean, look at what they have. They repeat it over and over and over: white supremacist, racist, QAnon, domestic terrorist. Don't leave that one out. Extremist. I mean, and then what? And then what? Where are you going to go now, boys? You've been trying to get me for a long time. And the reason these labels don't stick is that they're not true. And QAnon, as far as I can tell from the limited amount of research that I have done, well, actually, I've done a little bit of research, not so limited, but significant research. QAnon is an operation that is designed to discredit whatever it is that's coming out of Q. And what people don't really understand and don't really know is that Q is the highest level of security clearance in the United States government for national security. For the Department of Energy, you get a Q clearance. And when you're at, dealing with top secret, secure, compartmentalized information at the high end of the spectrum, you would have a Q clearance. And so it seems to me, from what I can tell, that the origins of Q lie in the intelligence community, but QAnon is a psychological operation by traitors to this country who are trying to weigh in and lead people in other directions and to create conspiracies and to discredit.
We don't want to trust the plan. We need to make sure that we're taking action, not trust the plan. We ourselves need to be responsible for taking action.
Their day is done. They are very powerful. They will do absolutely anything to anyone. And I know they're going to keep attacking me, and I don't care. I don't care.